Welcome to Whiskey Thursday. Tonight we have an awesome, I think episode is going to be a lot of fun. Zach's with us, Matt, and superstar copywriter Danny Velez, who is with us. Yeah, there you go. Yeah, I'm not going to bother him, but hitting 44 and getting really lazy. Yeah, who's got their volume?
Not me.
Not me. Who's got volume going? There you go. Perfect. So yeah, guys, we're gonna talk in
case you guys got too boring.
So we got superstar Danny Velez, who's an old buddy of ours, on tonight. I'm really excited about this because Danny and I go way back. I've got a bit of a story about this, and we're going to talk a little bit about that. But Danny's, as far as I'm concerned, one of the top copywriters out there, turning words into money, which is absolutely awesome. Danny's done work for us. He's done some copywriting for us, and also for a lot of other top marketers out there. Jeff Miller is a big fan of yours. There's a few others out there that are hiring you to do some work, and now you've got a group, you've got some courses out there. We just thought it'd be, plus you're a cool guy. We just thought it'd be fun to have you on the show and hang out, maybe talk business for 15 minutes. And then the rest of the time we just have some drinks and smoke cigars. Although I don't think anybody's smoking cigars tonight, but So I'll let Matt do his thing because he usually.
What are you smoking?
I was smoking a little bit of weed before this interview, you know what I mean? But that's normal.
There you go. Looks like we got quite a few people on. Don't forget, if you're watching live, hashtag live in the comments below. If you're watching the replay, hashtag replay in the comments below.
Okay, so I want to talk about this for a second. Hang on a second. This hashtag replay, hashtag live thing. How many people are going to hashtag live? Like how many people? Do you see them, Matt? Because I don't see them.
Well, let's see. Are you guys going to hashtag live, or are you going to type live? Or you can let us know where you're watching from or something. All right, we got a hashtag live.
One? We got one. How many viewers do we have?
So far, we're at 7.
7. Okay, well, let's wait a little bit longer, but we'll let this climb a little.
There's another one.
Hang on, Zach's trying to say something.
Say smash the fuck button.
That's not what you called it, though. I think the last time you called it something different. You just don't remember. It was good, though. It was good. We'll have to go back to that episode and take a look at that. But I have a theory. I want to wait until we have at least 10, 15 people on to test out my theory. But I don't think anybody wants to hashtag live or replay or anything. I really think that nobody gives a shit.
Well, we care because it's called engagement, and the more people that comment, the more people that see it, the more people that come on the show.
Hey, I get that.
There's nothing more interesting than hashtag live.
Okay, well, here, how many people we got on now? We got more than 7?
14.
Oh, hey,
14. There we go. We're rocking, brother.
So, guys, hashtag live or hashtag replay if you're watching the replay. Right?
Half the people have said hashtag live.
Oh, really? Half the people, yes. Right? Awesome.
There you go. And then guys, now people are leaving because you just insulted them for doing it.
Nobody's going to leave. No, I really appreciate you bringing up the engagement. No, seriously, really appreciate it. Guys, let us know where you're watching from. I'd really like to know that. I know Matt loves knowing where everybody's watching from. So if
I like to know what time zone it is where they're watching from because I want to see who's the most dedicated.
Zach's like, fuck this shit. Watch some TV here. So, I have a theory that people don't really care about letting us know whether they're watching live or a replay or whatever, or letting us know where they're watching from. But I'd really like to know if my theory is actually real or not. So, one way to get people to do things, and we all know this, right? I mean, money typically incentivizes people to do something, right? So I'm going to do something here. For everybody that hits the like button, everybody that tells us where you're watching from, everybody that lets us know if you're watching live, only for live people, because you're not going to come watch us live, forget about it. Right? And everybody that puts in the comments, Danny is awesome. Well, then at the end of the show, there you go. Show us your gun. At the end of the show, not that it's a lot here, but I'll send you $25 gift card to Amazon. out of my own pocket.
Fuck
I
it.
want to see.
Everybody who says it?
No, we're going to
I'm
pick
one person.
something at the end of the show. One person, I'll send you a $25 gift card to Amazon.
I was like, shit, we're doing all right, but like.
I know. I just want to prove my theory here. I just want to prove my theory that, you know, like people do stuff and you give them money. Price matters. Price matters.
Oh,
But hey, if you guys
I'm about to drop Danny's awesome in this motherfucker.
there you go.
Just in case.
Four things, guys. 4 things, okay? You got to like the post or like the live. You got to hashtag live if you're watching live, because I'm not giving away anything to anybody that's coming on the replay. You've got to let us know where you're watching from, and you got to comment Danny's awesome in the comments.
And you're going to be here at the end to win.
Now you got
pimped out here?
What?
I feel like I'm being pimped out.
No, you're not being pimped out. What are you talking about? Being pimped out. The show's about Danny. What are you talking about? What are you talking about?
Danny's being pimped out.
Absolutely. Well, this is why we have our guests, right?
You guys are pimping me out. That's cool, man.
Now I'm curious. Anybody responding or anything?
There's a shit ton of people writing, bro.
There you go. See, there you go. Okay, so here's a lesson, guys. This is a lesson, right? People care about money. You want people to do something, offer up something. You want people to opt into your ads, offer up something. Price matters. I mean, at the end of the day, you know, it's all about money.
Yeah, the reward matters for sure.
Absolutely. And this is something we're going to talk about, Danny, is you know, how to write copy to reward people, right?
Yes, sir.
Turn those words into money.
Yes, sir.
Awesome.
That's pretty much what copy's all about.
So we got anybody from Canada? I'm always curious about that. No.
Well, remember, there's a delay, so they might.
Okay. Well, we'll talk about the prize near the middle or something like that. Maybe we can get some more people to comment.
There you go.
There hashtag live and tell everybody how awesome Danny is. So guys, again, thank you so much for joining. We're here tonight with rockstar copywriter Danny Velez, an old buddy of ours. Zach's joining us tonight. This is always going to be a fun show when Zach's around. Matt, of course, and Danny, of course, yeah, Matt. Listen, Danny, listen, why don't you tell everybody a little bit about yourself? What the Shaneinator? Who changed my name?
That's a good name, bro.
Okay, well, anyways, tell everybody who you are, where you're coming from, a little bit about your past. You've got an interesting background, and you know, where things are at for you right now, and then we can kind of dive into this sort of copywriting stuff, and talk a little bit more about that. So I'll let you spend the next 10 minutes talking about yourself.
Cool, bro. So my life is not as interesting as 10 minutes, so I think it's going to be a little bit shorter than 10 minutes, but pretty much like my background is it's pretty simple, you know what I mean? Like I struggled through school. I got kicked out of like 2 schools, you know what I mean? I always kind of just wanted to chart my own path. I knew that doing the regular thing that everybody else was doing, it just never kind of called out to me. So anyways, I struggled through school, barely graduated high school. It was actually like there was 356 graduating members in my high school. I was number 356. You know what I mean? Like literally the last graduating member in my school, grade-wise and stuff like that. So I failed almost every single class that you can imagine. But me, I was born in the Bronx. I was raised in Puerto Rico, and then I finished. What was that?
You know I'm a Bronx boy, right?
You serious? You're from the Bronx?
Born and raised.
It's like,
wow, bro. No way. I was born in Crotona, bro, right by the Bronx Zoo.
Oh shit.
That's crazy, man. I took you for a Cali dude, bro. I took you for a Cali dude, man. I'm sorry for that. But nah, so yeah, I'm from you know, was raised in Puerto Rico, and then I finished out school in Pennsylvania, in some shitty little town that I couldn't wait to move out of. Anyway, so now I live in Tucson, Arizona. So the reality is that you know, after high school, I didn't have the credentials. You know what I mean? I was kind of just this rough kid that didn't really know what he wanted to do, but I knew I didn't want to do the regular thing. Entrepreneurship kind of stood out to me because I didn't have to follow anybody's rules. You know what I mean? Like that was my big thing. I got kicked out of school for being defiant. AKA not following rules. So I got into entrepreneurship, failed at that, invested some money that I made from jobs and all sorts of different gigs. Me and my brother actually started like a peanut butter company when we first started, which was cool. We were making our own peanut butter and going to like different fairs and different stuff like that. And we would have a stand and we would just sell out of our peanut butter. But we weren't really good.
I need to know the story behind this, because who decides, who wakes up in the morning and says, hey, Shane, like, what do you think about starting up like a peanut butter company?
Yo, bro, so this is
that happen?
It's a funny story. Me and my brother, his name is Joey. So me and Joey, we started eating organic, you know what I mean? But we were broke as fuck. So the only thing we could afford was peanut butter, jelly, and bread. And literally we would eat that for breakfast, lunch, and dinner, like no exaggerations. And so we were like, yo, bro, why don't we just make our own peanut butter? Because there's no peanut butter that we really like that's organic to our taste. So we found this farm in Virginia that was selling 90-pound bags of peanuts. And we bought 3 of those bags. And then we just bought like a food processor and started making peanut butter with local honey and sea salt and coconut oil. And coconut oil, there was no peanut butter with coconut oil like back in 2013. So when we were going to these fairs, it was actually like a real unique thing. But as it turns out, we weren't really good businessmen, because no lie, we were spending way more money on inventory than we were ever making, going to these fairs and all that type of stuff. So we ended up, spending so much money, never making any money back. So fast forward a couple years, I failed through being an insurance salesman. I worked with a couple different insurance agencies, got, my securities licenses and all that type of stuff. But I kind of failed at that too. I ended up getting hit with chargebacks, people just canceling on me. I was in the wrong market. I was in the wrong demographic. It kind of taught me a thing about, target market and who it is, knowing your audience and knowing what it is that they want and what they need and offering them a solution that's right where they're at. I wasn't doing that. I was just selling life insurance to people who were broke, and they ended up canceling, and I would have to pay back all the commissions that I made. So I ended up stumbling upon, kind of like you, Shane, I guess. I think Dan Henry was our start. Dan Henry was my start. You know what I mean? When I first started with online businesses, I started out with a Facebook ad agency, and that's where me and Shane kind of met at. And from there, I went from doing Facebook ads to kind of focusing on copywriting, because I realized that number one, regardless of everything, my number one passion has always been writing. Like ever since I was 7, I would write like all the time. I wrote like a little book for my parents when I was 7. And then from there, I would just always write all the time. And I was actually pretty good at writing. So like naturally. So I learned about copywriting. I didn't even know what it was. And I was just kind of practicing, copywriting on my Facebook statuses. And I would write stories about my personal life and about my failures and the things that brought me from where I was, having been brought up the way I was, to starting a Facebook ad agency. And, it's just little mini breakthroughs, making my first $500, blah, blah, blah. From sharing those stories, somebody ended up hitting me up and was like, yo, can I hire you? Can I pay you $500 for you to write something like this for my business? And I was like, oh shit, somebody wants to pay me to write. So from there, I was like, damn, I don't really know copywriting that much. So I bought some books and kind of just winged it. But I did a good job for them, and they ended up opening doors with a bunch of other people. And from there, it kind of just took off. So it's kind of my story, you know what I mean? From the beginning of where I was to copywriting, and over the last 2 years, I have just dedicated myself to copywriting, and it's literally all I do, you know what I mean? And now I'm blessed to not just get paid $25 or $500. Now I get paid, $3,000, $4,000, $5,000, even $10,000 plus to write copy for people. So it's pretty cool.
Wow, that's awesome.
Yeah, man.
So most people can't hire you, basically.
It's not to that point. Who I work with.
So
yeah, what a great story though. Like going from, sorry to interrupt, Matt. I didn't need to do that. Are you sure?
Yeah, you're good.
Okay. Was it important?
I'll get you back.
But it's a great story. I mean, you go from, basically high school dropout,
damn near high school dropout.
Yeah, like complete failure. I mean,
he was 356. He finished.
You finished.
I finished.
Everybody else here finished high school? Zach, you finished high school?
Got a JD, motherfucker.
Oh, whoa. All right, yeah, of course. That's not a motherfucker. Matt, you're good too, right?
Yeah.
So I'm the only person that hasn't finished high school. That's okay.
Yeah, I say I scraped through.
Yeah. I think you have 2 degrees. Okay, Zach's the smartest guy here.
With charcuterie and shit.
Yeah. Be careful, Zach can actually sue us all.
Oh man, fuck.
So when did you get started actually doing like copywriting for businesses?
Yeah, so I started out with the Facebook ad agency, and that was the first time I was ever exposed to writing copy, because I was getting all these chiropractors as clients. Wasn't really, getting paid that much, honestly. I was told to charge $1,500, but my confidence level wasn't there, so I was charging people $500, even $300 to do Facebook ads for them. So anyways, I realized that the number one thing that was most important wasn't just the funnels, you know what I mean? Because almost anybody could throw up a funnel, but it's the messaging that you put in the funnels and in the ads that attracts either shitty quality people or good quality people that are going to pay for your services. So I started realizing, like, damn, bro, this messaging thing is psychological and it matters. So I started dedicating myself to that a little bit more. And like I said, I was writing Facebook statuses all the time, like these long form Facebook statuses. And my idea was, if I want, an audience to trust, if I want people to pay me, they got to trust me first. So I started sharing stories about myself, because my idea was, my first product that I got to sell people on is myself. I don't got to sell people a product. Like, the first step is to sell yourself. That way people can trust you, so that they know that whatever product you're promoting or whatever service you're offering at least comes from a place of integrity. So I was selling myself through these stories and who I was and my values and stuff like that. Somebody ended up hiring me. From there, I kind of just started writing more and building relationships. I ended up building a relationship with Arnie Giske, which is probably the most profitable relationship I've ever built in my life, because he led me to Jeff Miller. Jeff Miller led me to a bunch of other people. And then Arnie led me to a bunch of other people. And, from there, it kind of just took off, because I borrowed both of these dudes' trust in an ethical way, obviously, and was able to penetrate their audience without necessarily having to build a fresh audience. I was able to borrow people that they had already laboriously built trust with, and kind of put myself in there. And that's kind of how it took off. I was just sharing myself, building relationships, and doing the work, working literally 17 hours a day.
I love it. If you guys are watching right now, let us know, are you currently writing your own copy, or do you pay a copywriter, or are you just starting to realize that you should be paying a copywriter? So, Danny, so has all of your training kind of been like hands-on, or like, did you go through classes? Did you take some sort of training? Like, how did you get to where the level that you are currently?
Yeah, so it was, for the first year, it was a mixture of a couple of things. So, first and foremost, just the fact that for some odd reason, I always had a little bit of a skill in writing that helped me out, and 5 years before I even got into copywriting or into internet-based businesses, I always had like sales jobs or, little bullshit businesses that made me have to put myself out there and sell to people in high pressure situations. And that helped me understand the nuances of like psychology and the little things that make people trust you, and how to word things in a way that entices people to take an action with you. So my sales background helped me out a lot. I didn't just start copywriting from scratch out of nowhere and make it a big success, because you do got to understand human psychology. You got to understand what makes people trust, what makes people act, what makes people shy away, stuff like that. But once I got into copywriting, I was just writing every single day. It was just a matter of there's no way to shortcut that process. If you want to be good at something, you got to do it almost fiendishly. And then I also had like different mentors. You know what I mean? Like, I got in with this guy. Me and him kind of fell off, so I'm not going to mention his name right now. But at the beginning of my career, he helped me out, and he was building a copywriting course at the time. He saw me as a hungry student, so he kind of took me under his wing and taught me some shit, and then used the stuff that he helped me with to build his course out, which was a cool opportunity for me, because I got training from somebody that was getting paid $30,000 a month to write copy for people, basically for free, just because he wanted help building his course. So that was a cool opportunity that I was privy to.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
So
Hey, sorry, I'm just going to interrupt, Matt. Just really quickly. So we have a question here from Matthew. I always want to say Matthew Manguino because he's got like the same last name as my wife, except one letter. So, but sorry. But it's from Matthew. Danny, any suggestions on books, blogs, or articles that you've checked out personally that helps with the copywriting?
Yeah. So I got my library right behind me. I'll show you 2 books. The first book I'd say to get is the Adweek Copywriting Handbook by Joseph Sugarman. So this book right here was super invaluable to me. You know, I actually didn't even start reading. I wish I would have read this earlier in my career. But I picked it up about last year, and it really helped put a framework to the stuff that I kind of already knew. It gave me a solid framework to understand headlines, to understand that copywriting, the purpose of a headline is to read the first sentence. The purpose of the first sentence is to read the second sentence. Second sentence is enticing you to read the third, and so on and so forth. It's not just a random bunch of words that you're slapping on a piece of paper in hopes that you can, you know, suck $97 out of somebody's wallet. You know what I mean? It's a literal piece of almost like a piece of music that every single chord that you're striking goes with the next one. The other book that I would say is a classic. It's called How to Write a Good Advertisement by Victor O. Schwab. And once again, it's just going to give you very basic, very old school. I think it was written in the 1940s. But this guy was around writing copy in the early 1900s. You know what I mean? Like literally writing the beginning of you know, modern day advertisement, pretty much invented this shit. So I would say get that book. Once again, it's called How to Write a Good Advertisement by Victor O. Schwab. And you can pick these up on Amazon. It'll cost you no more than $30 for
Hey,
both.
you can use the gift card I'm giving away as long as you've commented.
You can pretty much get it for $25 both for the books, I'm pretty sure.
Probably both books, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, $25. Guys, all you got to do, you want that $25 Amazon gift card, you just got to comment down below. #live, right? Where are you from? And Danny's awesome. Maybe one more thing.
There
Zach,
was one more thing.
How you feeling, Zach?
I'm here.
I know you're here. I know. You know what, guys? Actually, you know, Zach's actually a pretty good copywriter himself. Where'd you learn your copywriting from? Just doing it?
Well, similar to Danny, I just was a natural writer. I haven't taken it to the extremes that Danny has of, you know, studying and learning. I just write. Part of law school is writing.
I would say he went to law school.
God damn.
I just write. I don't understand the psychology of it the way Danny does, but I understand. I put my writing through early on when I was doing traffic arbitrage. I put my writing through certain simulators to identify at what reading level I was writing at. And the average American reads at about a 5th to 6th grade reading level. And I realized I was writing at a graduate college
Fucking
level.
collegiate level.
Exactly. And so that was quickly I had to identify. You had to put it
Talk simple.
right, not dumb it down, but put it, because that's kind of rude, but put it in layman terms. And
Yeah.
that was like the biggest thing that I learned, was putting it into these little things to identify. The average person can't read, as silly as this might sound to all of us, a 20-word sentence is too much for someone that for the average human being. And so
Or who the fuck do you think you are writing 20-word sentences? F. Scott Fitzgerald or some shit?
right.
You know what I mean?
Right. I mean, there's such things as commas and semicolons.
Fucking Aldous Huxley writing 20-word sentences and shit.
We got the next edition of the Fountainhead coming up.
Look, but that's how I was trained to write.
That's awesome, bro.
System. And with commas, one of the most enlightening experiences of my life was in law school. One of the first days in law school, it was called the $4 million comma. A lawyer.
Whoa! What is that? What did I just? That's water. That's water,
bro.
right? Oh my god!
It's vodka.
Is it?
Yeah.
Okay, good.
But a lawyer improperly placed a comma in a certain he put a comma in the wrong place, and it cost his client $4 million. So that was how I was raised to write, and I had to kind of
unlearn that shit.
Yeah, I had to put my brain backwards to realize like comma spliffs are all right, you know. Like,
yeah.
That's cool.
Yeah, the biggest thing with copywriting is like you want to talk. Well, it's not the biggest thing, but one of the things that makes it work is you want to talk in a conversational tone, kind of just like we're talking, or like you would talk with a friend. You want to literally share an idea as naturally as possible, because the idea is that you don't want the reader to know that they're reading an advertisement or that they're reading something. You want them to feel like they're having a conversation with somebody who's excited and presenting something to them in a way that is natural. You know what I mean? So if it comes off as this motherfucker's writing his goddamn, thesis, nobody's going to really it's not going to captivate the attention or the emotions in the way that it needs to.
Right. Well, I think there's two places to put that, like how I used to writing like I'm writing a fucking thesis, no conjunctions, no anything like that, right? Perfect grammar.
Yeah.
And
that has its place in time, yeah.
Right. And then there's how my business partner, he was not on this call, used to write, or still fucking writes like a used car salesman. Neither are good. There's a happy middle ground.
Oh yeah, for sure. You don't want to be spamming,
Exactly.
You want to be valuable.
Yeah. So it's not as easy as you might think it is.
No, at all.
You can attest to that it's
not
that easy.
So let me. Okay, you go, Matt. You go.
I was gonna say, what are your experiences so far as doing copywriting in real estate or mortgage related niches? And what are some of the things that you could shed some light on there that maybe you learned or you realized was not being
actually let me back that up, because I think my question would come just before that for a second, before he answers that part. How important is the copywriting for real estate, do you think? And maybe we can ask both, like Zach, you have a lot of experience with this on the copywriting side of things, right? Yeah, you do. Zach does all our copywriting for like the chat bots, everything, right? Even reviews our ads now.
My girlfriend and I, Jennifer, you guys all know Jennifer. Well, Danny, you don't, but hopefully someday you will. We were having this conversation on the walk back. I'm sitting here, like, no offense to you, Danny. Hopefully not, no offense. But I'm sitting here like, what the fuck are we doing having a brilliant copywriter in a real estate marketing group? Like, what are we going to do? Hey, guys, walk through the front door and you see this stunning open concept. Like, I'm sorry, but it's not a necessity in real estate, in my opinion. Danny, I would love you to tell me otherwise.
Yeah, and that's fair, and that's why I'm asking the question. Like, what is it? Like, we got Danny here because we like Danny. He's a cool guy, right?
No, and that's why I want to challenge you, Danny. I want to challenge you and for you to tell me that I'm fucking wrong.
Yeah.
That there is a need for some beautiful copywriting beyond that cliche bullshit that we all see. Oh, have that beautiful, stunning, gorgeous, fantastic open concept with tons of natural sunlight, like, because that's all it takes to convert.
Yeah.
So prove me wrong that is not the case. I would love for you to.
Yeah. So, right now I'm working with a lady out in Florida. She's out in the Tampa area. She's a real estate lady. She does real estate in a way that's kind of unusual. She works with new construction builders. Mm-hmm. So her way of doing real estate is different from like the open houses and stuff like that. But one thing that I learned from her is that, no lie, the number one biggest thing in copywriting for real estate agents really is the pictures. You know what I mean? Because the pictures, and it's not just about, taking a little shitty pic. Like, you got to take nice pictures when the sun is hitting the fucking kitchen the right way, and make sure that motherfucker's not dirty. You know what I mean? Like, the pictures, the pictures really do speak 1,000 words. You know what I mean? Like, people see themselves in that house and they imagine, they write the copy in their own mind. They see themselves throwing that Thanksgiving feast and taking the turkey out of the oven and placing it on the island, and family rushing in through those, wide open doors in the back from, playing in the, whatever the case is. So the pictures sell more than the words do in real estate copywriting.
Is part of your job with her to tell her that your images are not telling a story the way they should tell the story?
Well, the unique thing about her is that she was a natural at that. What she needed help with was the wording, and then also she hired me to help her sell a particular program. But she was already a natural at knowing that she had an intuitive sense, I guess, from doing it for like the last 20 years, that pictures sell. You know what I mean? So she makes sure that she gets a nice picture. She hires a photographer, and they come in and they take like really nice pictures, and the pictures sell it. And then, but the second part that helps sell it also, because you can't just put pictures up there and that's it. She writes very nice descriptive ads that entice people to come in. So she's not just saying, hey, we have 225,000, 7,000 square foot house. You know what I mean? Bullshit that every realtor is spamming out of their mouths. She's saying things that matter to them. You know what I mean? Talking about how, you know, this open space will be perfect for family gatherings. And so she's appealing to people's emotions. You know, a lot of realtors, the biggest fault that realtors have is that they market themselves as a commodity. They market themselves no different than every realtor down the block. You know what I mean? They put their face on an image and say, hey, we can sell your house. Nobody gives a fuck about that. You know, people care about the utility of what they're selling and what it means to them. So she does a really good job of, you know, selling what people are going to be doing in these houses and who that type of house is perfect for. So, you know, that's the biggest thing in copywriting for real estate agents.
Yeah.
How do you play the fact that real estate?
Zach, you sound a little far away.
Sorry, I don't have my microphone in. How do you play the fact that real estate is such a heavy relationship type of sale? How do you take that where your goal is to build a relationship with these people that don't know who you are?
Yeah.
A little bit on that and how you're going to build that trust and that faith in this person and to make them want to like you in order, right? You know what I'm saying? Without me
for sure. Yep. So here's the biggest things, and they don't even have to do with copywriting. You know, you genuinely have to care about people. And when I'm talking with my clients and stuff like that, that doesn't seem like it's copywriting, but it is. You know what I mean? Because copywriting is more than just words. Copywriting is your entire, you know, your approach to how you deal with clients. You know, that entire mechanism. You know what I mean? The whole marketing infrastructure.
We have just as many real estate agents on here as we do as marketers.
Cool.
So with this woman that you were speaking to, when you first this relationship, how did you identify what it is that she actually cared, and whether or not she does care for her clients or not? But how did you grasp that feeling that she actually cares, and I'm going to put that into writing, that she's going to care about you, she's going to care about your son, your daughter, your grandma that's going to have to move in with you at some point, you know? How do you grab those out of your clients?
For sure. So the first thing is that and just let me know if I'm answering the question correctly, but the first thing is, you know what I mean, that my client, the number one way that you let people know that you care as a professional is that you're constantly looking for ways to not just promote yourself, but to actually solve their problems. You know what I mean? So in copywriting, the number one way that we let people know that my client is actually cares about you and wants to solve your problems is that we're actively speaking about, you know, solutions. We're not just speaking about a particular product that we're trying to sell. You know, the idea isn't that people care about a 5-bedroom home for $225 that's, you know, the price has been slashed $50,000. People don't, that it seems logical that people should care about that, but what they really care about is that you know, the other emotional things tied up around having a home. You know what I mean? Like the fact that
that your grandma, that your mother-in-law might have to move in there someday with you, that you're gonna have
like those practical things that we're actually going to be experiencing inside of that house. Those are the things that people care about. And then obviously, as a real estate professional is a super high touch field, so you know, you have to follow up with people and provide solutions. You know what I mean? Like if you're just gonna try and hit it and quit it with people, you're not showing much commitment, and you're not showing that you're a professional. You're just showing that you're somebody who's a salesman and you're desperate, and nobody really wants to be around those type of people. Like, we have a real estate agent back home in Pennsylvania who we've done business with for over 15 years. We've bought like 5 homes in the last 15 years, and we never did business with nobody else because he actually cares. You know what I mean? Like, he asks about our family, and he says, hey, you know, he does the research, and he shows, hey, look, he drives us around the neighborhood, and whatever the case is, you know what I mean? Like, he shows that he cares. He goes out of his way and he puts things together. And, you know, it's not the normal experience that you would have with another type of real estate agent. It's super high touch and very emotional. You know what I mean? Like, you have to care.
That's exactly it. Like, I was just, from you speaking about your Pennsylvania real estate agent, I bought a home a couple of years ago in Miami, and I was talking to 3 different real estate agents. 2 of them made me, this is petty. Well, it might be petty on my behalf, but 2 of them made me drive myself to the houses. One of them came and picked me up and drove me to all the houses.
Yeah.
Guess which one I went with?
The guy who showed that he cared.
Yeah.
Or she cared, whatever.
Yeah, nobody wants to drive that shitty Honda. That's why.
Oh no, I had a nice car. I had a nice car then. But,
listen, I want to add to all this because I think right now, like a lot of us, obviously, as marketers, we're all focused on the ads, right? I mean,
yeah.
But there's so much more to real estate marketing. So there's all the content that you're posting as a realtor. There's, you know, the videos that you're doing as a realtor. Danny's written actually some video scripts for us. Very, very well done. We did very well with that stuff. So there's a lot more than just the ads. So I think that the copywriting side of it definitely plays into, you know, the ability for a real estate agent to, you know, to put themselves out there in front of their audiences and build up these stories so that people can actually relate to them. And I think that's, you know, if you're not going to focus your copywriting on your ads and stuff like that, you know, as a real estate agent, you know, and you start producing more content so you can stay in front of your audience and stay top of mind and those touch points that you were talking about, that's where you really should start looking at, okay, you know, getting better at your copywriting.
Yeah, hashtag 180-day email drip.
Thanks for selling my email drips there, buddy.
The plug.
I appreciate the plug. But yeah, so I think though, like the fact that, you know, yes, on the ad side, a lot of times it's pictures price, right? And we say that to everybody, like, you know, the first thing you need to focus on is your pictures. And hey, did you change the format?
I just popped another bottle.
No, that's so weird. The whole format changed. Anyways, whatever. Matt's fucking around again.
I saw him popping the bottle. I want to spotlight the video for a second.
No, but like, have you looking on what's going on live? Because on live we're not like squares, like grid style.
Oh no, I've got it on speaker view.
Right? Why?
Oh, because we've had speaker view going most of the night.
Oh, the speaker view sucks.
You want gallery view? All right, gallery view it is.
Yeah.
Wait, no. People got to vote. People got to vote. We can't be the only decision makers here.
I'm voting because I'm watching it.
All right.
There you go. That's way better.
I just want to see Danny flexing more.
Oh yeah.
There we go.
Danny, those arms over the year and a half or so that you and I have known each other, those arms are getting pretty big.
They've definitely shifted from being a string of spaghetti that they were. Dude, no lie. Like last year, I weighed 118 pounds. You know what I mean? Like this year, I weigh 145. So I'm feeling healthier. You know what I mean? But yeah, I did used to be skinny as fuck.
Man, I wish I could say the more I weighed, the healthier I feel.
Yeah, you're getting you and I, Matt, I think are getting a little chunky there.
I know. We're gonna have to like go on. I don't know. Is it tequila that's a lower calorie?
Tequila.
Let's start doing Brazilian jiu-jitsu, man.
I know.
Danny, don't do that. Just tell him tequila's the lowest calorie booze you can drink.
Dude, I drink apple cider. That's all I drink. I can't drink liquor, man.
You've got your own
the water, right? Yeah.
I was smoking 2.5 ounces a week. I couldn't drink liquor either, man.
Yeah, man, I can't. I don't really like it.
Oh man. So
smoking so much that I started drinking more.
I feel you on that.
Let's move
Going
on.
back to the copy and real estate. All right. I would say that in the advertisement, in the ads, I feel like it does make a slight difference, or maybe more than slight difference, because Shane, look at how many times people have tried to change the masterclass ad copy and been like, what's going on with this? Why won't it perform? And you're like, well, go back to the original ad copy that we gave you.
But it's not because you're writing this brilliant ad copy. It's
No, it's the one that works.
That's it. Which is different than copywriting.
Is it though?
Yeah.
Matt, that's what you've written for that October 3rd masterclass is not copywriting.
No. But I'm saying, like, for somebody that
that's
writes
like
ad copy that works versus people that write ad copy that doesn't work.
Send that over to Danny. Watch him laugh at you.
That would be fun.
What is this garbage?
What is this shit?
Matt, that's the thing. There's a difference between, which is what Danny was just saying. There's a difference between ad copy and copywriting. They're not the same thing.
Yeah, and I think Zach kind of made a point that for real estate, the copywriting for the ads may not be as important as the copywriting for posts and getting your story out and engaging with your audiences and the other things that real estate agents should be doing in order to increase those touch points and increase their just connecting with their audience more often, right? Mm-hmm. These ads that we run, like, they're 3 sentences. This is not copywriting.
Makes sense. Makes sense.
Yeah. So unless Danny wants a challenge and he wants to rewrite the October 3rd masterclass
and see what happens,
and we can test it out against Danny's copywriting.
I'm down, bro.
Are you down? That'd be awesome. We'll test it out. We'll throw $500 at it.
Like,
and,
Danny, real quick, while we're still off topic, or I guess we're on topic, but I'm going to take it off topic. Where in Puerto Rico are you from?
From Ponce, Puerto Rico, down south.
Down south, okay.
Yeah, down south. Hot as fuck out there, bro.
Yeah.
It's the hottest part of Puerto Rico.
I love Puerto Rico, man. I've got an uncle from Puerto Rico. I spent a lot of time in Rincon.
Oh, nice. Rincon is beautiful, man. One of the most beautiful spots in Puerto Rico.
I love Rincon. We were in Condado for a little while last year, and then we went to Vieques for a little while too.
Vieques is cool.
Yeah.
Vieques is cool.
Vieques is cool for white people.
Vieques is cool. You know what I mean? It's cool.
So,
sorry, forget your question for a second. Sorry, Matt. I want to know how many people are commenting here. So I want to know how many people actually want Danny to rewrite. So Danny, a little bit of background here. We did a masterclass back in October 3rd. One of the best campaigns we've ever run. So we decided to put together a little masterclass. It's a very, very simple ad copy. And it generates insane results. 50-cent leads, $1 leads. Most of the marketers that have bought this have been able to get leads below $2 with this specific type of campaign.
Wow.
And we've got people here. Yes, they want to see you rewrite the ad copy. I'm curious to know if we can get Danny to rewrite that ad copy so we can test it out. Comment down below. Yes, you want to see Danny rewrite this. And Danny, would you be willing to do this little challenge here? Rewrite that copy, and we'll test it out and see how it performs. Give people something different to run.
Yeah, bro, I'm down. I'm down to do that. I think that'll be cool, just to see, just to practice and see if I could beat the results.
Awesome. Well, the only requirement you need to buy the masterclass.
No, you don't. We have
just kidding. I'll give you the copy.
No.
Danny,
$500.
We have a question in the comments. It says, "Can Danny write an ad copy for seller leads? I have $1,000 for that."
Ooh.
No, he starts at 3,000. Didn't you listen?
Is that what he said?
Danny's like, I don't know.
No, tell him to hit me up. I you know what I mean? I mean, if it's just one ad, tell him to hit me up. Shit.
It might be a few versions to see which one works best.
No, this is the thing. Whenever I write ad copy, I always include variables. So I always include split test ads. So it'll be really 3 ads.
Nice. That's good to know.
Yeah.
So are there any tools or websites or apps or something that people can use if they're maybe they're not able to afford a copywriter and they're just trying to, make their stuff a little bit better?
Yeah. So there's 2 websites that I go to, and no lie, I go to these 2 websites to this day. Whenever I'm going to start writing copy, and I don't start writing copy until I've gone to these websites and I read through and find some examples that are similar to what it is that I'm trying to do.
Okay.
So the 2 websites are called Swiped. So that's SWIPED.co. And on this website, you'll find, it's literally a compilation of some of the most successful ads, sales letters, email campaigns, even freaking, direct mail campaigns, checkout pages, like literally everything you can imagine. And it has examples of successful copywriting in real estate, dental, chiropractic, whatever you can imagine. It has successful advertising in that particular niche. And I go to this website and I kind of just look around, see what other people have done that has succeeded. Because in copywriting, no lie, the shit that worked back then is going to work today. So it's not a matter of, I'm going to go on there and steal people's copy, but it's a matter of kind of like when Russell Brunson talks about funnel hacking, where you see a funnel that works and you're like, well, you know what? I'm going to model this funnel for my niche and do my thing with it. So you find copy that worked and you model it. You know what I mean? You look at the flow and you see, okay, so they opened it up with questions. In the middle, they told a story. And the next part, they dealt with the objections. And this other part, they kind of, gave some examples of this and that. They definitely all have a solid guarantee. So maybe I should add a guarantee to my shit. So I go to this website, swiped.co and swipefile.com. And I kind of just look around and see what's been working and what sources of inspiration I can draw from there.
Okay. Cool. That's awesome. So I want to talk about a little story about Danny before we go. We're hitting close to 10 o'clock. Guys, if you're just joining, and earlier on when we first started the show, Matt does his normal hashtag live, blah, 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 boring shit. Nobody comments. We get no engagement. But basically, if you're just joining us, I'm giving away a $25 gift card to Amazon for anybody that comments live down in the comments. You don't even have to put the hashtag.
Forget not the hashtag. To anyone.
Hey?
It's not to anyone.
No, okay, not to
the one person.
Anyone. The one person. One person. Okay, the fucking lawyer here.
Danny, help him with his copywriting. That's
the fucking lawyer. One person that actually likes the post, comments live, let us know where you're coming from, and tell us that Zach is awesome.
No,
Danny is awesome. Sorry, not Zach. Fuck.
Also, awesome. Wait, we have a new challenge, right? Fuck Zach.
No. Everybody likes you, dude. I think you're honestly, Zach. So I think people are really starting to like you in this group. At the beginning, it was kind of iffy whether or not people were actually going to like you, but I think people actually like Zach in this group. You're really helpful. You have you've got this persona of like, yeah, exactly, right? But then it's like when people are asking questions, it's like, yeah, no, I'm here to help you out. You're pretty cool in the group.
No, I am absolutely here to help. I'm an asshole, but I'm here to help.
And the reality for anybody that's wondering if Zach's actually really an asshole, like in person when you're hanging out with him, Zach's actually a really cool guy, really nice guy. So, wow, there you go.
I left Shane on the sidewalk the other night, sitting on the sidewalk.
Poor Shane.
There you go.
Yeah, I don't remember that night.
But I also got him to his hotel room and made him tell me 5 times before we dropped him off that he knew what his hotel room was.
Jeez. I'm wasted. Oh, it was a terrible night. was actually a lot of fun, but it was just
Sounds like a really good one.
yeah, it was anyways, it was rough. So hey Danny, so okay, let's go back a little bit from when you and I kind of met each other. So we met each other in the Dan Henry group. We got a lot of marketers in here in this group that are just starting out. They don't have clients, or they have one or two clients. They're looking to scale and so on. And you and I started, like, you and I were in the same group, in Dan Henry's group. You did something really cool in that group, which I feel like part of my success was the result of that video that you put together. And I know you know what I'm talking about.
Yep.
Can you talk a little bit about that and what that was? I went to try to find that video. I couldn't find it. I don't know what happened to it. I think maybe you changed your profile because you got banned at one point from doing exactly that. So I can't really find the video anymore, but if I can find it, I want to post it inside the group. And I think it would be really helpful to a lot of people that are just starting out building up their agency. So let's talk about that a little bit.
Yeah, for sure, man. I'm actually glad you brought it up because I wanted to talk about that. So like 2 years ago, when I first started out, and I started seeing some success, I kind of made a video. It was called how to get, it was called Client Getting Sorcery, how to build relationships without coming off as an asshole salesman. And so my whole idea was that I was getting clients just naturally without having to pay for ads, or, I was getting clients just off of my personal Facebook profile. And the way I was doing that was I was adding people who qualified as potential clients. At the time, it was chiropractors. So I was adding a bunch of chiropractors as friends. And then what I was doing was I was posting on my Facebook profile, I was posting valuable content. Like I was posting stuff that people would want to read, number one, things that were valuable to people, and things that also let people who were adding me as a friend, because the number one thing people do when they add you as a friend is they peek through your profile and they kind of decide, for the most part, people do this, especially professionals. They look through your profile and they decide if you're a weirdo or a creep, or if you're a cool person and they want to add you. So they look.
Don't look at Zach's profile.
Wait, is this really what we do?
Yeah. This is really what we do, bro. So people look, so what I was doing was I was just keeping that in mind. I was posting valuable stuff so that way when chiropractors would look through my profile, they would know who like what type of person I am. Because the reality is professionals, especially people with money, they don't necessarily just make decisions based on money. They don't make decisions based on, you're selling a cheapo $17 product. Professionals want to know that you're a trustworthy, valuable person who has certain values and whatever the case is, so that they can trust you. And then the money is secondary. So I kept that in mind. And anyway, so the whole idea was that, you add people who are in your particular target market. You don't just add random people who shitpost memes all day. You add people who could potentially be your clients. So that's chiropractors or dentists or martial arts studios, whatever the case is. It's really easy to find these people once you find a few of them, because chiropractors have other chiropractors as friends. Dentists have other dentists as friends. Martial arts studio owners have other martial arts studio owners as friends, and so on and so forth. So they have these groups of people that they associate with that are just like them. So once
real estate agents are a huge thing, right?
Right. And they have other realtors or whatever the case is, especially successful realtors as friends, because they want to get valuable information from other people on their Facebook. So it's a good way to build, a solid following of people who could potentially pay you. So what I was doing was I would then identify, hey, here's a chiropractor. He just added me as a friend. So I would hop on their page, and most people's reaction is to hit somebody up with some corny bullshit like, hey, how are you doing? Thank you for the ad, or whatever the case is. So I wasn't doing that. What I was doing was, first and foremost, I would I would go to their profile and I would show up in their world. You know what I mean? So I would kind of just study who they were. I wouldn't, obviously creep to their profile because I didn't have, nobody got time for that. But you just check out their last 5 posts or whatever. And, I would see that the chiropractor posted a picture, fishing or whatever. And I would post on the comment, oh, that's dope. That's awesome. Whatever the case is, you want to show up in their world subtly and kind of just, like a few posts, wait maybe a day or two. And then I would hit them up and say, hey, Doc, it's a pleasure to have you as a friend. just wanted to say I enjoy your post, whatever the case is. You just want to be a friendly person and say hi. And then as they would engage with my stuff, obviously it was up to me to post valuable content so that they would show up, because now the algorithm is in my favor. I've talked to them, they responded back to me, I'm engaging on their stuff. Now the highest likelihood is your stuff is going to pop up on their newsfeed. So then once they started engaging with me, I would then hit them up with a simple question. I would say, hey doc, I have a question for you. Do you keep your options open when it comes to getting more leads for your practice through Facebook? So it worked for me at the time. I don't know if I would necessarily do that now, but I'm just at a different stage in my business where I don't necessarily have to hit up clients that way. But early on, it was working for me. And honestly, if I had to start from ground zero, I'm pretty sure I would do that all over again, because it worked. Almost every single chiropractor hit me up and either said no politely, or a lot of them, which I ended up getting as clients, like 10 clients in my first 3 months, hit me up and said, yes, I'm interested. And then that would land phone calls. And then the phone calls, I would get to practice my sales conversation, and then I would land clients. So that was kind of just the whole gist. You post valuable stuff, you add people who could potentially pay you, and then you don't be a weirdo. You know what I mean? You show up in their world the right way. You don't.
I love that, Danny.
Hashtag don't be a weirdo.
Yeah. That's awesome, because
don't
Danny
post selfies all the time, post valuable shit.
Exactly. Yeah. So, and I love this because in your video, in that video that you did, you actually specifically said, don't be a weirdo, don't be an asshole.
Right. Nobody likes weirdos, nobody likes assholes.
Yeah. So what's really
where do I fall into this then?
You both, you're like in the, honestly, I think there's a whole new category for you, Zach.
Oh man.
So, but what's really interesting about this, or for me anyways, is I've modeled my entire business around that video. So I really took what you did on that video. I started implementing. I started seeing results almost immediately, and I continue. Like, I still do, not to the same degree, but I teach it now, and we get referrals nonstop. Every day, every second day.
Well, and Danny, I made Shane sit on the phone with me Tuesday for about an hour and a half, explaining exactly what he did, since I'm now primarily in charge of prospecting and client acquisition.
Nice.
And that's the process that he just explained to me.
Nice.
And the crazy thing is that you never know, right? Like people are watching you, especially once you start to, you're posting more results, you're connecting with more people, you're commenting on more real estate related posts. Like like you said, the algorithm is kicking in. And so that, your stuff's now being showed to more real estate agents.
Exactly.
And you're getting more real estate stuff, right? So, you need to remember that as a marketer, and as you're posting more valuable content or more results or more testimonials, these people start to see that. And I am shocked at who is watching this stuff. A lot of people watch it and they don't ever until a couple months later, and then they hit you up like, hey, I wanted to know about doing a campaign. You know what I mean? Big clients are watching.
Yep.
Big clients,
all of our biggest clients have come through this methodology.
Absolutely.
Wow.
Because
we're talking $100,000-$200,000 in ad spend a month type clients.
Wow.
Come through this methodology.
So,
I found the video, bro.
Oh, you did? Can you post this in the group? Guys, we need some engagement though, guys. If you want to see this video.
We need some engagement for sure.
That's right, guys.
Wait, you gotta post it in the group?
Yeah, I will.
Oh, that's gold.
Yeah, this is awesome.
Yeah, we need some engagement.
I want to know that people want it. You know what I mean? I don't want unmotivated.
I love this video too, because so you when you posted this video, you were what, like 3 months into the business?
Yeah, 3 months into the business, and I had landed my first $3,000 client through this particular method.
You posted this on your personal page too, because I've seen it.
Yeah, I posted it on I think I gave it away. Like, I made a post saying, "Hey, opt into my shit, and I'll send you the video." And then I gave it to a lot of people.
I've definitely seen this video.
Yeah, for sure. It's an 18-minute video.
Yep, exactly. Yep.
No, and it's great. Like it really, it could really change the course of my business, especially because I think, Danny, you and I kind of started. In fact, you were doing really, I remember this, you were doing really well, and I was getting really, I was kind of like in my 4th or 5th month of doing this. And I remember my mindset at the time, I had a lot of failed campaigns, a lot of failed clients. And I was like, this shit's not working. I'm just so sick of this. You and I had a couple conversations, and you're like, and I really feel like the vibe at the time was like, bro, don't talk to me. You're just kind of negative.
Yeah, right, bro. You serious?
I feel that like back in the day, like when, it was just like, I'm like, things are going really like well for me. I'm in this positive zone. You're in this negative zone. Like, okay, I want to stay out of this.
Damn, that's crazy. For real. I don't remember that, bro. That's fucked up.
You never said anything, dude. You never said anything. It's just I got that I get that feeling, or I got that feeling at the time, right?
You never said anything like that. Talking to me every single day.
No.
Yeah, bro, I'm sorry.
No, it's not like that. No. And to be honest, I'll talk to anybody, right? And the thing is, I can relate to people that are kind of
the right price
for the right price. But being in that situation back, like in my 3rd or 4th month, I like trying this digital marketing thing. There's nothing easy about it, right? It's tough, and it's if you're not landing clients, your trials are failing. People are hanging up on you. People are responding to your emails, like your wife is screaming at you because you're not making any money. Like all these things are going on, right? It's a very, very tough time as a digital marketer.
This happened to me today. You laugh, but I'm serious.
Well, you had how many calls today?
Zach had a rough day.
I had 7 calls today, and 4 of them hung up on me and told me to go fuck myself.
Have you been recording?
Literally, no, but I will. But literally 2 of them told me to go fuck myself.
But this, like, I think you're at a point now where it's like, okay, you know what? This is just business. I'll get on the phone, Monday and just keep going, right? And that's it. But I think you're done?
I quit.
You quit. So do we have anybody actually wants to see the video? Let's see here.
No, I don't think anybody wants to see the video.
Okay, yes.
No, Olivia wants to see it. She promises she's not a weirdo, but Olivia,
I don't know.
Olivia, you're definitely a weirdo, and that's why I like you.
Oh man.
Olivia's like super mom, eh?
Different strokes for different folks.
That's what's so weird.
You see her in our private group. She's like walking her 2 kids, doing live videos, and I bet you as she closed like her live video, she's like doing discovery calls with her clients.
Olivia's a badass. And
yeah. She's gonna kill it.
Her and I have not spoken yet.
Yeah.
Olivia, you should probably send me a message because I really appreciate everything you're doing. It's really cool.
And the other crazy thing is Olivia takes notes for like some of her stuff. She actually she sent me notes on all the all the objections, Matt, you and I did. She wrote out all the objections.
Wait,
like,
speaking of that, speaking of taking notes, can I embarrass David Torrance again for a little bit? David Torrance did a little over $15,000 in January.
Are you kidding me? Boom. That's awesome. Good for him.
That's killer.
And he constantly reaches out to me and still asks for advice. I'm like, David, I'm asking you for advice now, man.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
Good for him.
That's killer.
We'll have to get him on Whiskey Thursday at some point.
Yeah,
awesome.
I really think we should. Yeah. He's built a phenomenal referral business that I constantly ask him how he's doing it, and he's doing very well.
That's good. Good for him.
That's awesome.
So I think Danny, I think we got a ton of people here that want your video. If you'd be so kind to post that inside the group, that would be
all right.
Absolutely awesome. We've got
only if they give you their emails and their phone numbers.
Right. There we go. I need your emails, my people. I need some collateral here, man.
Now, well, okay. The thing is, Danny, you do have. I know you offer some. So let's talk about that. Let's talk about what you're doing now. I know you've got a copywriting group, which I'm a part of. It's pretty active. It seems very interesting, though you've got a lot of students in there. I know you rented out a hotel room and built out a course for some of your students, because I remember watching you go through that.
Yeah.
You have some resources available for people that want to know a little bit more about copywriting and what you do. So let's talk a little bit about what you're up to these days.
Yeah, for sure, man. So, my number one focus is, is for the most part writing copy for clients. But on the side, you know what I mean? Like I decided, why not help out people who are beginners, not necessarily people who are high level or whatever the case is, but people who are kind of like at the very bottom and just discovering what copywriting is and trying to figure out the little tiny details that make it work as a beginner. Because now as somebody who's in the field, and it can get really complicated when I'm working with high level clients, but when you're at the very beginning and you're just trying to figure out how to turn, some words into money for the most part, or some words into influence, whatever the case is, you really only need to know the basics. And then from doing it over and over again, you learn how to kind of master that particular craft. So I have some trainings on how to do, a 5-part email sequence. In other words, how to do like a soap opera sequence for, how to do it for yourself, how to write your own soap opera sequence. I go through my most successful soap opera sequences. And then I also go through, how to write a sales letter, which is a complicated thing to do, but I break down and I give you an exact, precise, format to follow on how to do it, and how to write Facebook ads, how to write stuff like that, like little mini courses and little mini modules on how to write particular things. Also how to do research, because one of the big things with copywriting is doing research on your target market and understanding really what that means and what it takes to do research the right way. So, and then I do have a big course that kind of puts it all together, and I got a couple students in there. Like one of my students just got his first client, which is cool. You know what I mean? He just got his first client, paid him $300. It's more than I got paid when I first started out. So it's cool.
That's really cool. So if anybody wants, like, what's the best way for somebody to either check out some free content, or jump into your group, or opt into whatever you've got? Obviously, like, here's the thing. If I was going to go check out some of Danny's stuff, I would want to opt in to whatever you have, because then I'm assuming I'm going to be getting emails from you. I'm going to be able to see exactly your style of copywriting and, learn from that. Right. So how does somebody go check some of this stuff out?
Yeah, for sure. So, what I could do is, if you're cool with it, I could leave a link to my group. But what I would encourage, what I would encourage people to do also is, what was that?
I said I already put the link to the group in there and pinned it.
Oh, nice, thanks, brother. So just join my group. You know what I mean? Every now and then I pop in. I'm not as active as I was a couple months ago, just because, no lie, I got extremely busy with clients. After I started my group, for some reason, I ended up landing a bunch of clients from my group, and honestly, it's taken me a little bit away from the group more than I wanted to. But I still pop in there every single week and kind of just ask questions, or help people out. You can also feel free to add me as a friend on Facebook, and stay in touch. Hit me up via Messenger, ask me questions, and if you want some trainings, I do got some free trainings on simpler little ideas around copywriting, like how to do research, and then even like lower cost trainings, like $17 and stuff like that. So you can feel free to hit me up.
Have you done any, like real estate email or real estate agent, like their emails and stuff like that?
Yeah. So my real estate client, like I never necessarily worked with a realtor for real estate purposes, like selling homes, but I do have a real estate client that sells trainings to real estate agents. She sells a high ticket, like $3,000 course. And I wrote an entire, 12 emails, like I did her entire marketing infrastructure, and she's selling out, her course. So
nice.
Awesome.
I have a couple clients for you for that.
Cool, man. Let me know, bro.
Yeah, we'll have to chat about that.
I'll cut you in.
Yeah, I have a couple. I have one person in our student program who wants to do some coaching. Cool. And on the real estate side of things. So that I never even thought of that, but you would definitely be a good resource to work on that project with them. So
awesome.
Let's
yeah, we'll have to figure something out because we're sick of writing our sales letters for these master classes too.
Yeah, and I think we could do probably a lot better. So Danny, we'll have to talk.
Yeah, let's talk, bro. You know what I mean?
If you're not in the student group, get ready to be in the student group because Danny's gonna write the copy.
Exactly.
Yeah, no, that's awesome. I don't think we have any pressing questions or anything like that. I think this
So
is.
someone did ask, do you
okay.
work in other niches like e-commerce?
Yeah, I work within like no lie. I've worked within a lot of niches. So I've worked with e-commerce brands. I've even worked with like.
Sorry, Danny. I didn't mean Zach's like.
Is he passed out?
I was just taking a quick nap, man. It's an hour past my bedtime.
We appreciate you being here, Zach. Thanks for joining us.
So, but I guess going back to that, Danny, like, what is the best way for somebody who's going to hire you to use you?
What do you mean by that, bro? Like, what do you?
Well, if they got $3,000, how do they just friend request you and say, hey, listen, I got some money?
No, for sure. Yeah. You know, just the first step is just reaching out to me. Like most of my clients reach out to me via Messenger, and then we just initiate a conversation there, and I identify your needs. You know what I mean? Just because you come to me with money doesn't necessarily mean that I'm going to be the best fit for you. So if you're not at the right stage in the game where you actually need to hire a copywriter, I'm going to let you know, hey, I'm not the right fit. But if you happen to be a good fit and you got, you know, your things in motion and you're ready to, you know, and you really do need a copywriter, then, you know, we can talk. And I got different packages and different solutions to help you get clients within your particular target market. You know what I mean?
Have you built out many agency websites, like the sales copy and stuff for those?
For sure. So I did some pretty cool shit with Arnie Giske. Mm-hmm. that really blew up. I'm pretty sure most of you guys know Arnie Giske. I wrote some of the copy for his the sales letter for his big group program that he sells. So that's an example right there. And then also J.R. Rivas.
I almost bought that.
Did you? No, it's a great program, honestly, very invaluable. Also, J.R. Rivas, I helped him pretty much like triple his results for his live events that he's doing now.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's awesome. You know, and we've got like, it'd be cool. I mean, we're going to get you to rewrite that foreclose, like the October 3rd masterclass that we have.
Because it's terrible right now.
Well, it's not terrible. It's getting awesome results, but I think it'd be just kind of fun to, you know, have you do this just as a, you know, something to do, right? And just see if, you know, it changes things for us. If it doesn't, it doesn't. That's all there is to it, right? Yeah. But definitely, you know, we're always putting out new master classes. We have a new master class coming out next week, actually. And what would be cool would be to see, because we can actually compare new stuff that you write compared to some of the old stuff we have, and then share the results.
Yeah.
Right. And say, okay, well, Danny wrote this one. We made $20,000. We wrote this one. We made $3,000.
I hope that happens. I really do.
No, that'd be really cool, right? So we should definitely see, like, you know, on working with you on some of this, you know, new stuff that we're doing.
All right.
Especially coming up and stuff like that.
Yeah. So, I mean, I think that's one thing that you mentioned was events. So that's something that agents could probably use if they're looking at hosting like first-time homebuyer events and stuff like that too. Because they got to write the sales copy or sales letter for the events.
Yeah.
Oh, there's all kinds of things. So Danny actually wrote. Actually, somebody wants to check it out, especially some of our students in the student group. They can look at the. There's a script that Danny actually wrote, which was the. What was that? The agent.
So with us, Zach.
Yeah, he's fine.
Okay.
You remember the agent recruiting script you wrote for us, right, Danny? So that's in our student group. Actually, I posted that.
Nice.
Yeah, and just give people an idea of like, and just to get, you know, get your creative juices flowing, right? But something else I was going to mention too is for anybody who wants to see like your style of writing, just go on your Facebook page.
Yeah.
Yeah, be warned. Some of the shit I write is very controversial, but yeah.
Honestly, you know what the crazy thing is, like.
Are you still doing that? because I used to love reading it. I guess maybe it's just fucked me and I don't see it anymore.
Yeah, I still do it, but just whenever I get the inspiration. But now I just kind of, it's a different type of marketing strategy. You know what I mean? Because no lie, I've been ever since I started. Yeah.
It's polarizing, right?
Yeah, it's polarizing, and then on top of that, it appeals. And these are like my actual thoughts. I'm not posting shit just to as a marketing tactic. I'm actually sharing things that I believe. But as it turns out, people with money feel the same way. So, a lot of people, I've built some very profitable and actually gotten some mega clients from people that hit me up and said, "Hey man, this is great stuff. Can we talk about doing some copy for me?" I just got a client yesterday that way.
One of your posts, and I don't know how long ago it was or when this story was that you were referring to, but it just resonated with me so deeply, was you just, I believe it was when you were in the Bronx, and just winter day, had enough of everything that had to do with anything in life, and you just decided to just start fucking running.
Yep.
And you just started fucking running. And you were
dude, I ran for 15 miles one night just because, like, no lie, my life, it just was out of control.
My dude, I've been there, especially living in the Bronx. I've been there, and I've read that, and I fucking teared up. And I'm like, this motherfucker is my people. I get it. I understand where he's coming from. I understand the position he's been in. I understand why he did that. Like, I don't know if you still do that. I honestly don't, because I don't follow you as much as I was at that point.
Man, come on, bro.
No, it's just because
what the fuck, Zach?
It doesn't show up in my newsfeed as much.
Oh man, that's fucked up.
Be first.
That kind of shit is what resonates with people. Is being
for sure.
And it's the kind of stuff that, like, me, and I'm fine admitting it, I don't do that in my life. I don't tell people my stories. And maybe I should.
No, you shouldn't.
Matt and Shane are like, please fucking don't. Guys, Zach, don't do that, please.
Have to change your name.
I'm just kidding.
But that type of stuff is even if it's not applicable to your life, you can still take that story and apply it to some facet of your life, right? Yep. I don't know if that fully makes sense.
No, it's relatable shit,
Right. Like, maybe I didn't run 15 miles in the snow one day in the fucking Bronx, but you've had that experience in your life where you're like, fuck everything, I just want to go run. And
right, like I started running because, like, no lie, nothing, like I wanted to push beyond my barriers. I was at a point in my life where I needed to figure something out, and I didn't really know. I was like 19. I didn't know what the fuck I was doing with my life. I felt kind of like shit, and like I squandered a bunch of opportunities, and I had no reason really feeling like shit because I was young. But the reality is that I just knew that I wanted to figure something out. I didn't know what it was at the time, so I said, man, you know what? I'm gonna do something hard. I just know that I gotta push beyond my physical limits. So I'm literally just gonna run until I can't run no more, because that physical act of pushing beyond physical barriers is going to translate into some sort of inner fortitude that's going to help me push beyond the mental barriers that are holding me back.
And it was
and that night I ended up running, literally, I never did that in my life before, but I ended up running 15 miles straight in the middle of fucking nowhere. And just because I just wanted to break the mental barriers that were holding me back.
And I think, and so not only is the psychology behind it beautiful, but the story that you portrayed is beautiful. It's absolute beauty. It is, my man. It's beautiful. It is writing at its.
That's the champagne talking.
Nah. We spent a weekend with Zach. He talks like this for real.
Yeah, for sure.
No, Zach, I appreciate it, brother.
It has nothing to do with me being 2 bottles of champagne deep. That is good fucking writing. That is good writing. That is writing that resonates with people, whether you can relate or not. But I personally related from a personal perspective, but anyone can take that. I'm at a point where I'm just going to go. I'm just going to go. I don't have a mission. I don't have a goal. I just want to get the fuck out of from where I am.
Oh, yeah. I think it happens to a lot of people. I mean, look at all the actors in like the 60s and the 70s and the 80s, and you hear of all these people that just got in their car and they just left and they landed in Hollywood. And like, yeah, those are the people who are famous for it, but there's tons, thousands of people who do it without it.
But so that, in my opinion at least, is what copywriting is. It's not writing ads. It's not writing a couple of fucking sentences in an email. It's writing something that whether you can relate or you can't relate, you can find some form of commonality.
Oh, absolutely. And I mean, I think
that is what Danny does that I
for
can't.
Sure. And I even
he's a storyteller.
Yeah, and even sorry, I'm going to interrupt you because before I lose my train of thought, sorry, Zach. But even the stuff on the Puerto Rico stuff you've been writing about more recently, Danny, and like even that stuff, like I don't relate to that, but I do, to a certain degree, right? Because I have my grandparents, my great grandparents, that they also struggled, and there were certain things that happened in their lives and stuff like that. So you do relate, even though you don't relate to it, right? And like Zach said, the copywriting is so phenomenal that you're really drawn into it, and you have to read. I've read almost every single one of your posts about some of the Puerto Rico stuff, which has been amazing. And that's the thing, right? You don't know, right, Danny? But yeah, we're all fucking stalking you.
I think that's the power. It's not the power of, can I sell a home? Can I get some person to show up to my open house? That is not what copywriting is.
No.
Copywriting is making you sit there and internalize, why did this?
We're getting deep now. Getting deep.
No, it is. Look, if you want to talk about fucking copy, you're the assholes that brought a copywriter.
We just brought Danny on because he's a cool guy.
No, you didn't. This is.
Man.
It's a much deeper perspective.
Oh, for sure.
You are eliciting an emotion that might not be completely in tone with what he's writing about, but he's such a beautiful writer that he's capable of making you identify why that's coming from. Keep laughing at me, Shane.
I'm not laughing. I'm just like I know we get to this point of the show where it's like, it's cool. I'm totally cool with it. It's fine. But it's just, the whiskey kicks in, the champagne.
This is the after party. We're like, people are dipping into the after party without paying for it, man.
That's funny. Well, listen, and this is probably a good, time to maybe end it so we can keep it up here.
Let's see. We do have a comment. It says, things my mother told me. If I knew that I would fall down, I would have sat down first. I'm not sure. I'm not sure. Reference.
It's okay. It's Maria Phillips.
Maria Phillips, what's up?
Well, that's things my mother told me. If I knew that I would fall down, I would have sat down first.
I feel like that's one of those pieces of writing that could be taken multiple ways.
Absolutely.
Yo, guys, by the way, I posted the training in the group.
Perfect. Kane, I think you have a giveaway to do. How are we doing?
I sure do. I think we pick some numbers, man. That's the
all right. I want to see a number between 20 and 30. I'm going to go back in the first comment above whatever that number is going to get.
No, what are you talking about? Let's get some engagement going. Fuck that. Forget what I said earlier about hashtag and live and all that shit. Just pick a number.
Look at it. You're changing the rules.
I'm choosing.
Dude, this is.
Choose Arthur. Arthur said at least Zach always has a drink.
I know. I saw that earlier, and I was like, truth.
Okay, listen. The reason why I'm doing this is, first of all, money, price, whatever it is, motivates. I just want to, guys, remember this when you're doing your ads for real estate. I always say this about ads for real estate. Pictures, price, pictures, price, pictures, price, picture. Oh, all the time. You want to generate leads, pictures, price, right? Okay, that's the first thing, right? Money motivates, right? The other thing that we do is we do bait and switch all the time. All the time we do bait and switch, right? We don't send fucking lists out. We don't send any fucking, whatever we say in our ads, we never send out, right? So
you've been drinking. Don't say we do bait and switch all the time.
But we do.
Listen to your attorney.
What do you think? I mean, no, the October 3rd masterclass is not really a bait and switch, but it is, trying to get somebody away from what we're actually advertising into something else.
But I think that's,
as your attorney, I appreciate that statement rather than what you just said.
Okay, there's no bait and switch, but anyways, my point is look at all the numbers coming up, right? It's like all this engagement now. Guys, $25 gift card to Amazon. We told you to hashtag live, tell Danny he was awesome, whatever, all this other crap we told you to do.
But now it's just going to be the first person to guess the number between 20 and 80 that Shane picked out, right, Shane?
Wait,
20 and 80? 20 and 80? That's crazy, man. 0 to 30. 0 to 30.
Okay, 0 to 30.
I've already written it down. So first person, 0 to 30.
Wait, you already wrote it down?
27.
Yeah. Like 1, 2, 3, 4. We're going to see like 30 comments from one person.
That's fine. 0 to 30,
okay.
man.
Somebody's
First person to hit the number.
Danny,
Awesome.
what was your guess?
Well, I had a question though.
27. What's up?
All right, I'm going with 23. Michael Jordan.
No, you guys are all
13.
wrong.
Boom.
If you know my birthday.
If you know his birthday.
Yep.
Who knows that shit?
Oh,
I don't
well.
know his birthday. I don't know.
1837.
No.
I thought you were...
Alex is pretty close. Derek, you got it, buddy. You got it.
17.
Yeah, you got it.
Oh, 26.
Derek got it. You got it, buddy. Derek's got it. Look at all that engagement.
Wait, hang on. Let's make sure that he got it first.
He did. I'm watching the comments coming in. Derek got it. Congratulations, Derek. You're awesome.
There you go, Derek. Derek's the winner.
$25 gift card to Amazon. I'll connect with you. See, Matt doesn't like doing this shit. He thinks it's hacky, but again, I still think, dang, 26. That's right, Olivia. Olivia messaged me. She's like, 26.
It's really tacky, but is this a tax write-off at least?
Is it a tax write-off? I think it is. Yeah, no, gift cards are definitely, I could do that as a tax write-off. No problem.
All right, perfect. Well, with that, thank you, Danny, so much for being on. I forgot my question, so I guess I'll have to come back to it. But thank you so much for being on.
Maybe we'll do another one sometime, bro.
Oh, for sure. And if you guys have questions, be sure to put them in the comments below. Also, you can message Danny in our group, or we've linked his group in the comments below as well. So with that, everybody have a great day.
Danny, thanks a lot.
Thank you for having me on. Thank you for being on, guys.
Yeah. Good having you.
All right. Hang around.
Oh, he already left. Zach's sticking around.
He's like, I'm over this shit.